I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the birds, and there's a beautiful breeze. I'm watching people stroll on the sidewalk, and I'm trying to imagine the juxtaposition of the horror that happened here so many years ago. I'm Suzanne Horn Newmark. I am the daughter of Hans Ballhorn, also known as John Horn. Came from the United States. Today we're here to memorialize the life of LUCIE BALLHORN, who was my aunt, my father's sister. I didn't know Lucy, but somehow she represents just one of the millions that were lost during the Holocaust. This was 40 Münchhauserstrasse. This was an apartment building, from what I understand, where Lucy and Greta were hidden and lived here in hiding during the 40s. And at some point, the incident occurred where Lucy left the home and was picked up by the Gestapo.
My name is Esther Esti Haviv Ballhorn, born in Israel, October 1945, to Elizabeth Elisheva and Max Ballhorn. Both immigrated from Germany 1933. We didn't have any idea of this area until a friend of mine told us that there is a school just nearby to the place where the Stolperstein would be laid. Of Ballhorn family, 1.5 years apart from our father. The kids who are learning in this school every year, at the end of the year, have a project, and they are choosing names from those Jews who lived here without knowing them, without knowing nothing about them, stories. Only choosing names. And the girl or the boy who chose Lucie's name, probably this was his grandma name, his teacher name. He just knew that Lucie lived in this house that used to stay here where the school is today, and he chose that name and wrote it down.
I know very little about her. I know that she was a beautiful young woman, that she had a joie de vivre, as the French say. I've seen many photos of her that show her leading a life of joy. I've seen photos of her dancing with her best friend, having coffee with people, being with family, in beautiful clothing, just enjoying Berlin and the beautiful life that must have existed here before the horrors emerged.
My father went through the streets of Berlin with Hans. Hans was his best friend, was 1.5 years younger, his brother, and they went all together. And July 1933, left on his way to Palestine. Our father didn't tell us completely nothing. What we know is from Susan's father letters. Hans wrote the most unbelievable letters, and he kept telling our father how is Lucie doing, whatever they are doing together, went to film, went to restaurants, until it became so difficult and so unbearable. He left to the States, and Lucie stood here in Berlin.
However, I consider it my duty to tell you all I know and all I heard in Berlin regarding our loved ones. Lucie and Leo are no more. Lucie was murdered in July in the gas chambers of Auschwitz, July 1943. Ludwig Pank, a distant relative, was on the same transport with her. He's the only one who came out alive. All of the people on it were gassed upon arrival. She, Lucie, carried 2 different sets of identifications papers with her. One stating that she was an employee of Mr. White, and an assumed name on the other set of the real ones. The Gestapo made a raid, finding these two different sets of identifications on Lucie. Immediately, she was taken along to Gestapo headquarters. Otto White chased down the Gestapo headquarters to do whatever was in his power, but it was in vain. He spoke to Lucie, who was pretty cheerful. He brought her food and some clothing the next day. A day later, a shipment went to Auschwitz. This shipment contained a part of me and you. The curtain has fallen on one of the most inhumane and most horrible chapters of mankind.
Our father, in that summer of 33, left Germany. When he came to the where he caught the train, and the whole family gathered to say farewell, to say goodbye to him, Lucie, his sister, which they were in a very, very good relationship, came to say farewell. And nobody thought this will be the last time that they will meet. And she brought him, from very poor money she gained, she brought him a bunch of flowers. And our father said to her, "Warum hast du mir diese Besen mitgebracht? Why did you bring me this broom?" And that was it. And our father died 2 years ago, at the age of 104, until his last day. He couldn't forgive himself for the last words he said to Lucie. Today, when we put the Stolperstein, I had an opportunity to bring flowers, which I picked 2 months ago from his garden, and I brought them today with us, and I put them on the Stolperstein with a little notes saying, "I'm sorry."
I couldn't be more proud that all the generations showed up here today with the one common understanding of what happened and how best to memorialize it and show our children and our grandchildren what survival looks like. She didn't have a chance to live a life. Those of us that are here today have had that opportunity, and we lead lives that are really miraculous lives that came out of the ashes of what happened here. We're here to commemorate not only Lucie's life, but to stand that no injustice like this shall ever happen again, no matter where.